Hey Disney friends, it's Amber with Mickey Travels. One of the biggest questions I get constantly is the Disney dining plan worth the money? So what I've done is I've kind of broke down a bunch of different things for you to consider when looking at the Disney dining plan. I'm going to break down what it is, how much it costs, how much the restaurants cost in comparison, and then kind of show you at the end a trip that is planned for two different types of families and a calculator that will tell you exactly if it's worth the dining plan or to pay out of pocket for it. So hopefully this will answer some questions for those of you that are pondering whether or not to use the Disney dining plan on your next trip. So stay tuned.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The Disney dining plan is an additional item that you can add to a Walt Disney World package. If you're staying on Disney property, you can have the room and tickets and then add on a dining plan. There are 3 dining plans that Disney offers for your convenience, depending on the type of eater that you are. The quick service dining plan includes 2 quick service meals and 2 snacks per person over 3 per day. If you're wanting something for more sit-down locations, you can have the Disney dining plan, or what I will refer to as the regular dining plan, which is 1 table service credit, 1 quick service credit, and 2 snacks per person over 3 per day. Lastly is the deluxe dining plan, which is 3 table service meals per day and 2 snacks per person per day that is over 3 years old. So if they're under 3, they can't eat off plates that are within the family that is also on the dining plan. And if they're at a buffet, they can actually get their own plate. Here are the prices for the Disney dining plan current as of this video. Keep in mind that 2020 packages were released and prices may be a little different than what I am mentioning. So the quick service dining plan will be $52.50 per person per day for adults, $23.78 per child under 10. I am going to go into detail a little further in the video of exactly what is in the dining plan, because this just isn't meals necessarily. So that price will be broken down even more here in a little bit. The regular dining plan for adults is $75.49 per adult and $27.98 per child under 10. And lastly, the deluxe dining plan is $116.25 per adult and $43.49 per child under 10. If you have a child that is 9 years old and you would rather have adult options, go ahead and bump them up to a 10-year-old to get that dining plan price. So exactly what does that cost cover? So as I mentioned before, you do get the meals that I had talked about. And also you will get the refillable resort mug that is refillable at your Disney hotel, not in the parks. However, you can fill them up and take them with you to the park, or you can go into quick service restaurants and fill these up with the water that they offer in the fountain drinks. And within each meal of the dining plan is going to be a slight difference. For example, with a quick service credit, you can get an entree and a beverage, and that can include an alcoholic beverages for those over 21 if the quick service location has an alcohol option. You do not get desserts with those meals. You can use your snack credit for a dessert if you wish. The regular dining plan is going to give you an entree, a beverage, which can be alcoholic, and a dessert included with the table service meals. And with the quick service credit in that plan, you get the same. You get an entree and a beverage only. With the deluxe dining plan, each person will get an appetizer, entree, beverage, including adult beverage, and a dessert. So it is a lot of food. And that is where I'm coming to my next point is if you're the person that says, well, we don't eat that much. I always like to ask and for them to define what that means, because for some families that may be, well, we just don't eat breakfast, or I barely eat anything when I sit down. So it is complicated to know when you say, I don't eat that much, I don't know if the dining plan is worth it. So let's go into particulars of some restaurants that are pretty popular that people want to dine at, no matter how hungry they are, etc. They're just character meals per se, or something that they've been told to try, so they're going to go there anyway. So what I've done is I've taken some math, which is not my forte, but I've double checked, and I've also have a resource that I use with clients online that's more of a calculator for this to kind of give you a breakdown. So if you purchase the regular dining plan, let's say snacks are usually $5 a piece, so that's $10 away from that. I am not including the price of these within the dining plan to do my calculations, so it is going to be slightly different because I believe these are like $15 to have refilled for the whole trip, maybe more, but I'm not calculating that part into this here. So with the regular dining plan, a table service meal is going to be approximately $45 to $50 that you're paying with that plan. If you're on the deluxe plan, a table service is $28 per sit down that you're doing. So let's compare those to what the restaurants actually cost. If you're paying that much per day automatically, let's see how it is in comparison. So I've picked some pretty popular places to give you an idea. Most of the character meals are buffets, so those are all priced about the same. A buffet is going to be on average $52 per person. These are all adult prices. Also, I've figured out that these are going to be lunch and dinner meals. That's just a quick tip that I'll mention later. Dinners are going to be more expensive, so it just makes more sense to use your table service credits for dinners. Buffets are about $52, and with the regular dining plan, you're paying $45 to $50 per sit down anyway. That breaks even there. If you're on the deluxe dining plan and you're paying $28 per table service, then you're getting a heck of a deal with just that one place. Cinderella's Royal Table is 2 credits. It's very popular, and that on average for a dinner is about $92 per adult. Ohana is another favorite, and that one is about $49 per adult. And then I picked Sci-Fi at Hollywood Studios because that also is a fan favorite. And that one is going to run you about $30 max per entree. So if you also calculate the dessert and the beverage in there, you're looking at spending $40 to $50 there as well. So far, the Disney dining plan will either break even or save you money. And in the end, that's what you're looking for. You either want to break even and use it for the convenience of having it already paid for, or you want to save money. Let's look at some quick service options. So because the table service, it's easier to kind of pinpoint with buffets because all of it is included. With these, I'm just pricing out entrees. And I've calculated earlier and estimated about $15 out of the dining plans for quick service credits. So these are just entrees alone. At the Satouille Canteen in Animal Kingdom, you're spending about $12 to $17 per entree. So that is your mark right there, and that doesn't include the beverage price, so you would be in sense saving on the quick service. Casey's Corner at Magic Kingdom with the hot dogs is about $9 to $12 per entree. ABC Commissary goes anywhere from $10 to $18 per entree, and they do have a steak there, so that's probably where that $18 comes in. And then Be Our Guest for quick service is about $15 to $19 per entree. Also with the dining plan, keep in mind that you can order anything on the menu as long as it's for an individual person. You can take it home with you if you want when you're finished, if you don't get to eat it all. The exception would be you can't do that at buffets. So if you're on the Disney Tiny Plan, you don't have to look at prices and be stressed out about what you're ordering. In fact, you can make it a mission to make sure that I'm gonna buy the most expensive thing on the menu. So before I jump into the big thing here where I do a comparison of an entire week's stay to show you where you would eat and if it actually saved you money, let's go over some things that are not included in the Disney Dining Plan and then some tips that I have in general for people who are wanting to do the Disney Dining Plan. First off, you cannot get refills on specialty drinks, and you cannot use your credits on the special containers. So like if you have a Star Wars mug or a Disney character popcorn tin, like this one, you have to actually pay for these, but then you can get the popcorn using a snack credit. Same at the restaurants. You'll have to pay out of pocket for these specialty drinks, and they are not refillable. Be sure to remind yourself as you're doing this and saying, yeah, it's saving me a ton of money and I'm going to try to eat as many table services as I can, that you will still have to pay gratuity, and gratuity can be high for some of these places we've spoke about. For example, the buffets, $52 a person, and you have a family of 4, that's gonna be a really high gratuity if you do the normal 18%. Places like Cinderella's Royal Table and Hoop-Dee-Doo Review, the gratuity is included in that price, so that is a little bit of a savings. If you have a party over 6, gratuity is going to be automatic. So if you have less than 6, it will be up to you to how much you want to leave for the tip. Here are some tips that I've come across. First, you can plate share at most restaurants at Disney. So if you want to, say, expand your credits throughout your whole stay, that is possible when you share plates. For example, all of your credits are going to be put into one big pile depending on who is in your package. So if there are 4 of you and you're staying 6 nights, 6 times 4, that's how many credits you will have to spend for the whole trip, and anyone can use those credits. So if you want to maximize the credits, say you go to a sit-down location and one of the kids is going to eat off your plate, and you can save their credit for another evening if you would like. Now, this is not feasible at buffets. Everyone will be charged at buffets and other family style such as Ohana and Liberty Tree Tavern. Quick service credits are interchangeable. Meaning, if you are a child and you're on the quick service plan, Disney does not recognize if that is an adult or child credit that's being used. So, if your family of 4 goes into a quick service restaurant, you could order 4 adult meals if you would like, and it would still be the same credit that's pooled through there. They do not specify or know if it's a child or an adult credit being used. So that's a way to save money too. If you have a child that maybe won't eat so much, but maybe you would want more than what's offered, you can have an adult meal and eat off his plate. If you're gonna dine in your food court at your resort, you can fill this up and use that as your beverage, but because you get a beverage included with your credits, go ahead and pick a bottled water or a bottled drink and take that with you on when you go into the parks. Because it's already included, you might as well go ahead and grab it instead of letting that go to waste. Like I said, meals are more expensive during the dinner time. So if you want to maximize your credits, you'll want to eat at a lunch or a dinner to have the better value for your dining plan. If you do all character breakfast and then do quick services for dinner, the dining plan may not be money saving for you. Okay, so we're gonna look at a detailed plan for 2 separate families. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you on my screen the plan that we've laid out for them. And then we're gonna show how much it would have cost them out of pocket and then how much savings they have if they would have done the dining plan instead. This is a tool that I use with many of my clients that are pondering whether or not it's worth it, and maybe they don't have the dining plan yet and we've already booked their dining. I can punch this in and figure out for them if this is something that is going to be useful for them. My soapbox is that I love the Disney dining plan and want all of my clients to be encouraged to consider it at least. So what I've done is I've chosen a spring break time for 2020, and I've inputted a family of 4, 2 adults, 1 child over 10, and 1 child under 10. Let's take a look at the restaurants that we are choosing. As you can see, I have the regular dining plan here in place. They're not gonna have any breakfast. They might use a snack credit for their breakfast. And I've implemented their arrival day and departure day, not having more than 1 meal depending on when their flights come in. So I've chosen some of the most popular locations, including Ohana for dinner, Be Our Guest for quick service, Sci-Fi for Hollywood Studios, Teppan Edo, which is a huge favorite at Epcot, and then we have a break day where they're going to eat at the resort, and then they're also going to go to Disney Springs and eat at the very popular Chef Art Smith's Homecoming, go into Animal Kingdom and have Yak and Yeti, and then last day go to their food court once more because they're staying 6 nights. They've used a table service the first night, so they are out of table service by that second to last day and will only have a quick service remaining. So here we can see that they would have spent $1,662.81, including 2 snacks per day per person and their mugs. So this is actually a savings of $3.76. Woohoo! I know that's not a huge savings, but in the end, it's gonna break even for them. And with Disney World packages, whether you book on your own or with a travel agent, you can make payments on that trip, and having your dining already paid for and then arriving there and not having to look at prices or worry about if you're going to be able to dine at certain places because of cash, it's already paid for and you're good to go, and the stress relief is amazing. Just don't forget that gratuity. That always kind of bites you in the butt a little bit. Okay, so now let's take the same family, same dates, but let's do a character meal every single day. Let's take a look. So all I've done is I flip-flopped some of the table service. I've left all the quick service the same here. I've chosen 1900 Park Fair, which is at Grand Floridian and is a Cinderella dining. We're going to Crystal Palace at Magic Kingdom to see Pooh. Hollywood and Vine at Hollywood Studios to meet Minnie, Mickey, and friends. Akershus in Epcot, which is Princesses. Chef Mickey's, which is in the Contemporary, so I don't have to go into a park to eat there on my off day, which is probably the most famous character meal. That one's more popular during breakfast, so it is more difficult to get that reservation, but here we're going to eat there at dinner. Tusker House for Animal Kingdom Day, and then again we're leaving on the 19th, so we don't have to have a table service. Get ready to have your mind shocked. So again, this is going to include the 2 snacks per day per person and the mugs as well. You would be spending $1,725.50, meaning if you're on the Disney dining plan, you would save $324.28. So most of those character meals are buffets, like I said, so the prices are set. So even if you eat a little or a lot, it's not going to matter. So the Disney dining plan is feasible for those of you that are considering tons of character options. So I want to wrap this up really quick by just giving my personal testimony and what I've heard other people say. Some clients do love the dining plan, but then at the end, they don't have all their credits used. Maybe we didn't make a good enough plan. Maybe they weren't hungry one night and they skipped a meal. That's fine. You can, at the end, with your credits expiring at midnight of checkout day, turn them into snacks that you could take with you. It is a good idea, though, to kind of plan out all of your table and quick service ahead of time. Table service locations, remember, it is a good idea to have a reservation in place so that if you walk up, they can't turn you away. You can make those 180 days in advance. It's also a good idea to have your quick service time slot picked out, maybe not where you're going, but know that you'll use a credit on this day around this time. That way you won't get to the end and realize you have all these credits left and you wasted that money. Love the Disney dining plan personally, and love it for clients because of the stress relief that it provides and not having to look at prices when you're looking at the menu. It does save money in the long run for most of my clients, and if you're unsure and are interested in working with me, I can use that tool with you to kind of see if this is going to be something that's worth it for you. I hope this helps make your mind up about whether or not this dining plan is worth it. I do love it. We get it almost every single time. I do have clients that don't use it at all, and then I have some that use it every single time as well. It's got to see if it's a fit for you, and there are ways to check that out. I hope this is helpful. If you're interested in using my free planning services, my contact information is below, and I would love to work with you. Have a magical day. Bye.